Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be talking about the travesty known as the Acolyte once again. Again, I know I'm probably going to get some heat for that comment, but oh well. And oh, I used to watch it if you hate it. Guys, I'm already, unfortunately, almost head deep in this crap show we call the Acolyte. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give my thoughts on this because again, this episode made no sense, man. It really didn't. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to summarize this up as best I can, get into my thoughts. And so basically the entirety of this episode was another flashback on the Jedi side of what we saw in episode 3, I believe. And again, most of what we saw, this could have been added in that episode for another 20-30 minutes. I don't see the problem why they didn't do that. In this episode, it pretty much felt like they just wasted money just to give us another worthless episode like they've been doing. Now, it does show, obviously, from Soul, the Wookiee Jedi, Carrie-Anne Moss's character, the other Padawan at the time, that was Carrie-Anne Moss's Padawan, of them there because of a Virgins in the Force, which pretty much they got that from the sequels, which again is ridiculous. I did not like the way they did with Kylo Ren and Rey for that, and I guess the reason why they're doing this is because they're trying to reenact the whole thing with Anakin and being supposedly born out of the Force, of trying to create something out of the Force, and when they finally do meet them, it shows that Saul actually infiltrated their home after he saw them in the woods, goes in there, tells everybody about it, and then they go to try to talk, and the main cult leader, I guess you'd say, or the witch leader that they keep calling Mama, she was trying to, I guess, change the thoughts of the Padawan, actually go, hey, you don't want to be here, you want to be on Coruscant, you want to go home, and he finally gave in, and she took a hold of him. And of course, that's when that happened. Now, it does show the test, obviously, with Osha and, Mai at some point. But again, it just felt like the same thing over and over again. And saying what exactly is their purpose when they do become leaders. She doesn't have an answer because her mother didn't tell her. And then, of course, that's when Osha passed because, again, Soul coached her, from what Carrie-Anne Moss's character stated. And we even see, once again, Mai created the fire. She created the fire because she was angry, and her other mother pretty much taught her to go on that anger because they started the war. They started this battle because they felt like their children were in danger, and they were wanting to keep them away from the Jedi because they were trying to make the Jedi the bad guys in this episode. And they allowed Mai to destroy the entrance, and then that's when she goes to Osha and she started the fire, and then all of a sudden she has this like PTSD moment of, oh my god, what did I do? It's like, again, they can't make up their damn minds, and this is why the writing sucks, and this is why Osha and Mai suck as characters, because they constantly change their minds as quickly as, it's like the old saying, you change your mind as quickly as you would want to change your drawers, and it's that sad that that's what's going on here. And as soon as, again, they get denied by the council after Carrie-Anne Moss's character informs the council, and they even go to try, between the other Jedi Padawan trying to stop Ovo, their DNA results came in, they're so high up in the Force metachlorian count, and it's exactly the same, so more than likely they create not one but two characters of high metachlorian count, same way they did Anakin, and then they try to stop it, and again, when they're thinking, our fortress is in danger, and they are trying to start a fight with the Jedi, even though, yes, the Jedi infiltrated, but at the same time, they're trying to get these children out of here, because they feel like they could be a help to the galaxy. But at the same time, we see where even the leader, she even states something, kind of an Easter egg of like, oh, well, your morals is what's going to be the downfall of you, which is going to be kind of interesting because, again, that's what happened. Because look what happened with the Jedi later on in the movies. Then we also see when Mai does come out saying that there's a fire, the leader, it seems like she was going to go into like this black mist, and Soul kills her, I guess thinking she was going to attack, and she even says that she was going to allow Osha to go with him, and he feels guilty, and then that's when her partner starts attacking, and she says, fight me, and Soul won't fight her because he realized that he killed someone that was not going to attack him. It seemed like because that the other one was going to attack the Padawan, and she was going to try to stop it. That's what it seemed like to me. And that's what occurred. Now, I will say, Again, it was May's fault what happened with the fire, and then the other mother, she could have talked to the other one, but she was too arrogant, and then that's when, as soon as the other one started fighting, they all went into a mist, went back in this area, and they started taking control of the Wookiee Jedi. Now, again, this is what was silly to me, of ones can argue and say, oh, well, because there's so many witches, they could take over a Jedi Master's mind. That, to me, seems very... it's going to be an argument no matter what you say. I will say it was interesting to see a Wookiee Jedi fight, because we haven't really seen that in live action. Yes, we've seen a Wookiee fight, but not as a Jedi, and we got to see that a little bit. It was a decent fight, I will say that. Some of the fights have been decent. Has it been blowing me away of, oh my god, I want to watch this all the time? No, of course not. And as soon as that happens, when Carrie-Anne Moss shows up to be able to save the day, she gets on him and is able to release his mind from the grip of these witches, and they die. That's pretty much what happened. The Jedi did not harm them. They basically died because of their own arrogance and their own insecurities and them not wanting to work with the Jedi. That's pretty much what happened. And then we see where she tells Sol to get Osha and May, and unfortunately, he tries to hold them both from them falling. He chooses Osha. That's pretty much what happens. And you can see they're trying to reenact the thing between Qui-Gon and Anakin. You can clearly see that as day. And it shows the same thing. Sol was going to release himself over to the Jedi Council because of what happened. Carrie-Anne Moss's character says don't do that because, again, this little girl lost everything. She needs someone. Which, again, is because he felt a connection to her, and that's the reason why he was so just gung-ho on this situation. And then the other Padawan, he just wanted to go back to Coruscant. He wasn't cut out for this. Again, I don't think he was cut out to be a Jedi because of him being away from Coruscant so long. And I did not have too much of a mind with Carrie-Anne Moss's character, but again, it feels like, again, she was just cut off too short. So again, we see why May is so angry because, oh, Sol killed my mother and all this other kind of stuff because, again, of what happened. So that is the reason why all this happened. Again, all this could have been cut down to not even 30 minutes. Less than 30 minutes. They could just combine all this and boom, 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 boom. There you go. They wasted money on this episode. They wasted time. And they just wanted to give us another crappy episode before the finale. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I am summarizing because of what happened. Pretty much what my thoughts are for the finale. What's going to happen. If they do show someone at some point, I don't want them to show Yoda because that's going to be wasteful and it's going to ruin him probably because they're already screwing up the lore, and that's why this show sucks because they're screwing up the writing sucks, the characters suck. None of this makes sense. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, and again, oh well, why are you watching it? Because I have every right to have my opinion on this. But at the same time, it's one of those where who could they show? Okay, they could try to show Plagueis. And that'd be the first time ever we see them ever in live action. And at the same time, maybe a younger Palpatine. Of them trying to do something for us of like, oh, well, we heard these witches can do this, so let's try this. It backfires, and that's when the Force creates Anakin. But again, don't know if they're going to do that, or they're going to show Plagueis and his master. Don't know exactly what they're going to do. I was bored with this, again, throughout the entirety, and I know I'm probably, oh, why are you still watching? Again, I'm going to have an opinion on this, guys. I'm going to make another video on my thoughts on Star Wars right now. I don't know when I'm going to drop it. But the finale is almost here. And then hopefully by the end, this show's just going to go away. Because, again, clearly Leslie Helen don't know nothing. She don't know nothing about Star Wars. She has no reason to be part of Star Wars. Hell, I would say she has no business to be in the industry. Because all she wants to do is insert her own ideology in here. That's it. That's all she wants to do. And Dave Filoni signing off on this crap. Same thing with Kathy. And then, of course, Bob Iger, Lucasfilm, Disney, everybody. They're signing off on crap. And that's pretty much all it is. So, I'm ready for this show to be over. I'm done with this show. I hope for at least every little bit of episode, like maybe like just a 2% of positivity from something. And you barely get that. It's just, I'm just over it. But can this show be saved? No, it can't. It's already been dunked into the crapper further than anyone could probably save it. And that's as far as I'm going to go with it. What do you guys think about this episode? Was it worth your time? Was it not worth your time? And again, if you're enjoying the show, good for you. enjoy it. But at the same time, a lot of other people are not hating this fan. And no, we're not fan bashing. It's called the truth. It's called the truth. Because again, if you really pay attention, if you really, really pay attention, they're messing it up. They're messing up Star Wars. That's pretty much it. But let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you as always on the next one.